Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Dr. Eric Rosen here, and welcome to Celestial Conversations from Chaos to Clarity. This is the weekly astrology horoscope where I take a look at the big transits in the astrology coming up to fill you in on what's going on. And of course, the big one this week is absolutely that new moon in Leo. It's happening right now as I'm doing this video, July 24th, but that energy is going to be playing out, of course, for the next 28-day cycle. And especially this week until we see a quarter square of the moon going into the following week. Typically, I do these from Wednesday till a little bit into Wednesday the following week with some overlap. Really did not want to do this video during that dark moon that was going through Cancer. That just felt really blah to me. So decided to do this on Thursday this week. So this is going to cover from July 24th until, what did I say? I think the 30th. If I'm not mistaken. So, but before I get into that, of course, if you want to get a personal individual astrology reading, and this is a really great time for that. I mean, it's Leo season. It's a new moon in Leo making aspects to the personal identifications in Aries of that Saturn, Neptune retrograde. It's also opposing Pluto and Aquarius. If you're ready for your breakout moment, and it might not look how you think. It might not be through force and a bunch of activity. Mars, South Node Virgo. The metaphysical approach to transforming within and shedding these egoic layers, these societal, religious persecution layers, just all the matrix programming to become one with the person that you're actually meant to express yourself as. It's actually going to make you happy. This is the best time to figure that out. So if you're interested in that, message me or drop a comment below. I'll send you a link. So let's talk about this new moon. I mentioned it already. I want to say this. It is a new moon at 2 degrees of Leo. So it's all about feeling, right? Yes, we want to express our excitement, our passion, or creative life force energy. The sun loves to be in Leo. It's Leo season, shine and be seen. But the 2 degrees in astrology is remarkable of the emotion. We need to feel it. We've got to feel it. We've got to sense it. So there's got to be this emotional, heartfelt connection. There's this tug of war kind of going on a little bit with Pluto and Aquarius, although Pluto's really not pulling that hard because it is retrograde and the sun's going to win in that tug of war no matter what. So there's really nothing holding us back in terms of, fears, societal expectations, programming. It's really just the dead weight of things. Like, we don't have to jump on the bandwagon trends and try to blend into the just heavy shit of like what's going on. We know there's secrets. We know that there's stuff going on, right? Like just the technology side of things, the AI side of stuff, the crypto stuff, the deceptions, there's all that stuff, right? But this is also a new moon that's making good ass. Actually is a really good thing for communicating and being eccentric and being excited and being stimulated and having conversations with people and talking about what we're actually excited about. And so in a way, it's not even, sitting around the water cooler, like talking about all the stuff that we see, like actually going on in terms of like the world front of it. Like, that's the trap a bit. It's like keeps us locked into an old reality that's very fear-based, like programming. And so it's coming out of that, and that, yes, there's going to be this element of like when we stop connecting to those collective dramas that can be very distracting, right? Because a lot of it's about being overstimulated with this new moon also being in the 56th gate in the Gene Keys, which deals with enrichment, which deals with, choosing to connect to things because it actually enriches life. And so it's being stimulated in a soulful way, not in a way that's detracting from our well-being. And so that's going to be a lot of your stuff in the media. That's going to be a lot of like, the trendy stuff and, how much longer can we talk about the Coldplay concert? It's stuff like that. It's like we have to really look at, is this actually creating fulfillment, especially like, a vibration that's going to lead us to our best future. And I think we kind of have a social responsibility aspect to this of, shining and putting our flair and our creativity out that's going to be unique and different from the trends that are going on, because Otherwise, it's just the programming of being a lemming, being the same as what everyone else is doing. There's kind of a zombie energy to that a little bit. Like it's almost like catering to the algorithms of life, of, you know, what people are programmed to think about, or what social media is programming people to think about and focus on. So there's a courage here to be different. Now, there is kind of that lazy trine energy to that Saturn retrograde and that Neptune retrograde for this new moon. So I would say that it's definitely, you know, having to alchemize some frustration, some feelings of delays. It could feel like we're behind, especially that Mars that's now crossed over that South Node in Virgo, but it's still there, and it is squaring over to Venus a bit still this week. Although they're going to be breaking apart most of the week. It's Venus and Gemini. So, you know, I don't think that we can force the change or force growth or force the action. I think there's probably some level of fatigue that we're still all feeling. And then it's like looking at it and having to take that frustration or feeling delays or feeling behind, especially. This can be a really good time for a rest and digest mode to actually like move energy like through the body and through the being, that's going to actually allow us to move in a greater direction for that longer term. And so ideally, it's taking the prideful ego layers of things and like what it is that we're like wanting to do and moving in a new direction through actually feeling the emotions. This is not fake it till you make it astrology. Like people can see through that stuff anyway. And so it's actually coming into like more of a beingness with this, and at a really high level for those that like get this, like we're shedding like such deep programming of how most people are operating at a societal level that it's almost becoming Jedi-like in terms of operating for a different modus operandi, a different frequency, a different, more celestial connected way of understanding like the interconnectedness of all of it, of energy, of the shedding layers and the changes that planet Earth is going through, influenced by the cosmos. And that we can actually rise above some of this stuff and be like, you know, like, no, I'm not going to get enticed into that distraction or get enticed into that drama and to jump on that bandwagon. And so what really I think comes on the other side of this, of feeling into these emotions and disconnecting from the hoopla that's going on, is like actually having fun, excitement. And it can actually feel kind of maybe basic or mundane. It's like, you know, dancing around the living room. It's just making art for the sake of art. Like this is not the astrology like that needs to notch some big win to like make our life feel valuable or sustainable or worthy. It really is that alchemy and turning lead into gold of the stuff that we just like are maybe sweeping under the rug and like don't want to deal with, and could be doing that from a prideful situation, because there's an invitation here to shed these ego layers to actually take us in a much better direction. So I think the new moon that we're going through, it's not for the faint of heart. I think it can be a crazy chaotic one, because it is opposing Pluto and making that trine over to that Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Aries, but then also the sextile over to Uranus and Gemini. So, you know, the Leo energy wants to be fixed. It wants to be fixated on its passion, but we've got to be okay with the changes and the disruptions and the fluctuations, and the having to hold steady of just the courage of the feeling and the heart to go through the changes to see what's the character development that we're becoming really on the other side of this. Like this, there's no perfect mathematics. It's too complicated to go, well, if I just do all these things, then my life becomes this, or I get there, or I get the carrot, or I master myself. It's like that reality is gone. Bye-bye. It's not here anymore. So, you know, just go for what feels like the passion, but the emotions, that's the gatekeeper. So anyways, also for anyone who's interested, I am still holding that special for $297 for the legacy pricing for the monthly group coaching that I'm getting going. I'm actually renaming it Higher Self Rising. It's a group coaching program, so that's an opportunity for people if they want to work with me week to week. They'll get like teaching week to week, 10 minutes of laser coaching. There's a bunch of stuff that I put into that. If you're interested in that, take a look at that either on my website, astrologybyericrosen.com, or message me, drop a comment. I'll send you a link to check out more information on that. So I'd say enjoy the new moon, but you know, the enjoyment comes from the acceptance and the surrender of letting go. We can't fake the, you know, creative expression and the passion that comes from all this. So appreciate you all. See you next.